Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Rebel Trader with Take the Initiative. We've got an early morning Top Cat match here for you. Winner of this one is going to make the finals. We've been doing a round robin format this month. And Major is going to be in the other Top Cat match. Winner of this one gets to face off against him. Jarol was able to take him down earlier. In the season, Weyoun did lose to him. So we'll see if Weyoun can win, if he can get his revenge, or if Jarol can win, he can defend his title. Jarol is our previous season winner. So let's take a look at what they're playing. This is Jarol's Han Blue deck. They're actually both playing Han Blue, just a slightly different leader, you know. This one is super spicy. I really hope we get to see a Watto come down from Jarol in this one. We haven't seen it all season. So that'll be exciting. But otherwise, this is like a pretty like mid-rangey Han deck. It's got, you know, some early stuff for racing and potentially, but also a lot of higher end stuff. So it's really through and through mid-range. And this is Weyoun's spicy Han2 blue deck with 2 copies of Daughter main. I don't believe we've seen that come down from him either. So hopefully we get a chance to see that. And he's got the Obio one in the main deck also, which I think more and more are starting to side that, but I haven't seen a ton of it within the main. And I'm going to give them the go ahead. There we go. I think that's a good camera angle. Weyoun is going to start us off with the initiative. Jarol looks like is going to have to use the Han turn 1 in order to play something, which can be especially risky with force throws in the deck. And Weyoun does have a force throw in his hand. Starts us off with the Grogu. Weyoun does. And that's matched by his speciesman, Yoda, from Jarol. No 3-drop picked up from Weyoun, so he's going to have to use his Han again, which is fine, especially for like an itinerant warrior. There's actually thinking about resourcing the itinerant. And then, yeah, he's going to resource the itinerant. Possibly means he's going to go for an attack with Grogu to get the force and use the Ki ID. Or alternatively, just go for a Han and Chariot. Which, a Han and Chariot is not that bad with Grogu on board. Alright, he's going to attack base here. Still retains the option to do both plays. And Jarol again looking at a hand where he would have to Han here to be able to play a unit out of hand. I don't know if he has a hotshot blaster or anything. It looks like he's not going to play it if he does. Just going to run into the Grogu here. And alright, it is going to be the turret that comes down here, not the Ki ID. Which is not bad into the sport state, especially with the Grogu on board. Alright, oh, Han is going to be used. It's actually going to resource his Kira here. I think he's got tech in the resource row, which could be what he's going for. Yep. Ooh, there's a hot shot picked up. Gotta remember that one. Is Grogu going to... Okay, Grogu is going to move damage from himself over to tech. Not going to heal the turret, interestingly. Oh, no, he's going to take it back and he's going to heal the turret. Which that prevents sneaky hotshot blaster plays. And this turret is firmly established at this point. Yep, that was a pass from Jarol. We're going to see Ki-Adi-Mundi come down here. Burns the force token. Draws 2. It does create an opening to get some damage onto the turret. If Jarol so chooses to do that. Just going to crash the Yoda. Pick up another card. Turret goes right into the base. Regenerates that force token. Hotshot can come in, force the use of that force token. Puts 2 more damage on the chariot, but Jarol loses a lot in return. I really gotta like Weyoun's position here. This is some of the most work we've seen a chart do in the league so far. Apologies, I am still recovering from that cold that I've had for the past few days. So turret immediately going to go to base, immediately get that resource back. Han goes up to 6. But Weyoun's holding force throw to just, throw at the Han when he deploys. And there we have the daughter making her first appearance. Let's see if we can pull her up. All right, Han is going to deploy. And then, yep, that force throw immediately comes out. Discard the mace to clear the Han. I'm really not convinced the daughter is better than Poe, but she's fun. Sometimes healing really helps. All right, Weyoun is really just playing with his food at this point. Gets to answer this Kanan. Grogu is going to heal the turret down to just 2 damage. Things are looking rough for the defending champ. All right, Jarol is going to go to 7, which is going to let him play this Luke and perhaps finally deal with the turret. Nope. Grogu's going to heal it off. Moves the damage over to the daughter. right, Jarol is going to use the Luke to defeat the Han here. Now, Luke is a nice thing to establish here, but again, it actually can't kill the turret. All right, Kiadi going to ram himself, which is going to let Weyoun play the second Kiadi to draw a couple cards here. Plays out a Yaddle. And then it's going to do 7 to base and regenerate the force token. So the Luke doesn't die here. Ooh, Hotshot Blaster picked up. That actually does allow the Luke to go over the turret. Does die in return, but he does get to restore 3 at least. Weyoun's got 11 on board. So Jarol is hanging in there, technically. He's got a lot of catching up to do. Village people going to block off some of that damage. Or actually not going to block off any of it because of the Luke here. And Jarol's going to call it. Weyoun taking the first one. Weyoun's done so much to help keep this league alive. Really grateful for all his work. Now he's got a chance to actually succeed here by making the finals. He's made the finals before, but he's still looking for that first win. And if he can do it here, he's going to have a chance. Let's take a look at sideboards here. Weyoun's got stuff for a variety of different matchups here. Confiscate Parliamentarians for decks that rely on upgrades, I guess. Cham. Cham I could actually see coming in here. Although it's mainly meant for the ramp decks, it does work with the Han ability. Bombing Run possibly would come in, but I doubt it. Rivals Fall, again, like, I doubt that he wants it for this match. The only thing I can see really come in here is the Chams. On Jarol's side, it looks like he was bringing in quite a few things. He's just got a bunch of, like, utility pieces in there. Like Guerrilla Soldiers, Covert Strength, Vigilance, Change of Heart, Redemption, Third Rivals Fall. We'll see. All right, Jarol is going to use the Han ability on turn 1 again. And Weyoun again gets the Grogu start. This time it's Falcon for Jarol, who combos well with the Han ability. Doesn't have to balance itself here because it can use the resource that would be defeated with Han for itself. Weyoun's going to do the same thing again, going for that turret. Grogu here, going to put the Falcon in danger. Jarol gets Kanan on board. Now we'll see if Jarol decides to bounce his Falcon back. Yeah, he is going to do it. You know, he drew the Watto, but he is just going to resource it. Sorry about that. Hey, turret's going to go to base, generate that force token. And Jarol gets to drop Akira. We'll see what the call is. None of these are like spectacular. Because if he calls Force Throw, the Force Throw can actually still be played through the Kira. It would just cost all his resources. Which is he is gonna call Force Throw here, which I do like because it forces Weyoun to choose between, you know, either play Force Throw or play a unit. Whereas calling either of the units just says like play your other unit and use the Force Throw. Weyoun is going to choose to play a unit, and it's the red 5. Jarol's kind of playing just not attacking with this cannon, because it kind of would do nothing, because the force would be used to block 2 of it, and Grogu would just move the other 2 over. It does force Weyoun to use the force, which gives him a chance to take initiative here. He is actually just going to take the initiative, though. So, yeah, so Grogu puts the 2 on the cannon. Covert strength picked up here. That's not one that you see a lot, except in like Han2 decks. Let's see if we can pull it up. All right, it is in the resource row, and Jarol is going to resource again to 6. Setting up for a deployment here. Weyoun is going to pass here. Weyoun is holding the force throw for the Han deploy, except it is going to cost extra because of the Kira. All right, yeah, and there's the covert strength. Gonna heal and give the experience to Kanan. With Han2, it generates a 2nd experience, which is why it gets played in that deck. Here, just the 1. Another pass from Weyoun, and that's gonna give Jarol a chance to hotshot the turret. Hitting in for 7. Enough to blow over that turret completely. Gets to discard the third force throw from Weyoun. Another important thing about that is that it denies the Grogu any damage to move around. All right, and Jarol sees the writing on the walls, knows that his Kira can be killed, so he's going to deploy the Han now. Force the force throw to happen at an inopportune time. If I'm a unit, I'd probably just do it. Oh, there is definitely an argument for not. And going for the kill Kira route and then play Yoda plus double force throw. All right, yeah, looks like he's going to take that line. 3 goes into the Kira. That means either the Red 5 or the Grogu can kill this Kira now. Kira is going to trade with the Han for her last trick. Should I get their leader? Done. All right, so first force throw comes down, and it targets Jarol, discards the Falcon to kill the cannon. Now, Weyoun can't see it, but if he does go for the second force throw, he is going to target Jarol, and it's going to be 6, which is just enough to clear that Han. Big greedy there, but if it's 4 or higher, he still gets to do it because of the Red 5. So not as greedy as it might seem. Now Weyoun is in a pretty strong position. He has taken 10 damage, which is more than he took last game for sure. But Jarol's got nothing on board. Jarol has the option here to go for Han, or for Luke, sorry. But it doesn't even kill anything. Just makes them weaker. Or no, does he actually, is he down to 6? He actually is down to 6, which means he actually can't play the Luke this turn. Just going to go for an L3 here. Now, Weyoun can play his Luke for 6 with his Han. Which clears out the L3. Jarol's just going to take initiative and Grogu heals the Luke. And the unit's going to base. Yoda is actually going to get to start restoring. Which does matter. All right, now Jarol has enough resources to play this Luke, but again, like no good targets. And Jarol's just going to call it. Weyoun takes it down 2-0. And he is going to the finals. Where he will take on Majar, his round 2 loss on Quinlan Targentown. We'll have it on the channel It'll be exciting. Congrats to Jarol for making it this far with something interesting, and we will see you guys later with that finals whenever it gets scheduled. So thank you all for tuning in, and remember to always take the initiative.